Dear students, last day we were having a look at the plot devised by Antonio to kill the king Alonso, and he was trying to convince Sebastian, the brother of Alonso, to join him in this great venture. The beginning, Sebastian did not understand the plan of Antonio. Later, through different examples and beautifully building up the contest, Antonio convinces Sebastian, and Sebastian says, "Yes, I shall join hands with you." That's where we stopped, wherein Antonio gives the example of how he, through such a plot, ousted his own brother Prospero from Milan and became the Duke of Milan. And he says he has done it so well and got himself established in an excellent way. We shall begin from there and look at today verses 301 to 363. This is 363 is the last verse in Act 2, Scene 1. So we shall look from 301 to 363. I have divided these verses into two parts. The first part is 301 to 325. Second one is 326 to 363. So 301 to 325 we shall look at first. Here we are speaking about the conscience factor that troubles Sebastian. The conscience factor that troubles Sebastian. Antonio wins over the conscience of Sebastian. Antonio wins over the conscience of Sebastian. Sebastian decides to take the case of Antonio as a precedence. As an example. Sebastian decides to take the case of Antonio as a precedence, as an example. That is part 1. First we shall look at it. Verse 301, Sebastian, but for your conscience. So Sebastian is disturbed. There is something called prick of the conscience. Prick, P-R-I-C-K, prick of the conscience. That is when we do something wrong. When we do something morally not right. When we do something that does not fit into the normal way of functioning of human beings, then there is something questioning within us. Something is pricking our inner self. Are you right? Haven't you gone wrong? Is it the way to do it? Are you not cheating? Are you not betraying? So that kind of questioning mind. So Sebastian says, but for your conscience, don't you feel guilty of your conscience to do such a thing? To kill somebody? Antonio says, sir, where lies that? Yes, sir, where lies that? Where is that conscience? Sebastian here speaking about conscience and the guilt of the conscience. Where is the conscience? I don't see. If it were a cave, it would put me to my slipper. But if I feel not this deity in my bosom, 20 consciousness that stand twist me and Milan, candid be they, and melt ere they molest. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he is like, that is dead, whom I, with disobedient steal 3 inches of it, can I lay to bed forever? Whilst you, doing thus, to the perpetual wing, for I might put this ancient morsel, this Prudence, who should not upbraid our cause. For all the rest, they will take suggestion as a cat loves milk. They will tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour. So Antonius says there is nothing called conscience. You don't worry about it. If it were a cave, that is, if it were a sore on my foot, it would put me to my slipper. It would have gone inside. I would have covered it. But I feel not this deity in my bosom. I don't feel it in my bosom. Normally, it's in the heart. Conscience is in the heart of everybody. But I don't feel it. 20 consciousness that stand twist me and Milan. Suppose with 20 consciousness standing between me and Milan, candid, that is frozen be they, and melt. They have been frozen and melted. Ere they molest. Here the meaning of molest is hinder. Ere means before. Before they molest. Here lies your brother. So he says, no, nothing like that. There's nothing called conscience. You don't worry about it. Look at my example of Milan. I have taken over Milan, ousting my brother. Was there a conscience? There were so many people before they could even hinder them. I did away with them. So you don't worry about all that. Here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. So then he points out to the sleeping Alonso and says, here lies your brother. He's lying down there, no better than the earth he lies upon. Of course, they are on an island after the shipwreck, and there is no bed, no cot to sleep on. Alonso is sleeping in the mud, on the soil. So he says, here lies your brother, no better than the earth he lies upon. That means he is not worthier than the dirt he is lying upon. He is lying upon the dirt. Is he more worthy, or is he worthier than the dirt in which he is sleeping on? No. His worth is nothing. He is equal to the dirt. If he were that which now he is like, that is dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. If he were that which now he is like, if he were to be like that which he is now, means now he is lying down and sleeping as if he is dead. If he were to be dead actually, what I have to do? That is dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. Obedient steel is a dagger that obeys me. A dagger or a sword that obeys me. With that, a 3-inch business. I can just stab him with a dagger that obeys me, and I can put him to rest forever. Now he is sleeping. But in the sleep he looks as if he is dead, fast asleep. I can make him to sleep forever with the help of a dagger that obeys me. That's what Antonio says. Whilst you doing thus, to the perpetual wing for A might put this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. While I will do that one, that is finishing of Alonso, you have a little work to do. What is that one? While I do this one, you will do this one. Doing thus to the perpetual wing for A might put this ancient morsel. You must close the eyes of this ancient morsel forever. Here, ancient morsel is old flesh, in reference to Gonzalo. Gonzalo is the old flesh. So you must put this meat, this old piece of meat, into everlasting sleep. Make his eyes closed forever. Now it's closed. Make it closed forever. Why do they want to put an end to Gonzalo? Because he is a disturbance for them. This ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, that's a title given to Gonzalo, Sir Prudence. Sir Prudence meaning is given there, this cautious counselor. It's a contemptuous reference to Gonzalo. This Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. He finds fault with us. Gonzalo finds fault with whatever Sebastian and Antonio do. So he has become a kind of nuisance, disturbance for these two. That's why they want to get rid of him also. For all the rest, they will take suggestion as a cat laps milk. We need to kill only these two. And Alonso and Gonzalo. Alonso because he is the king. Only if we kill the king, we can get the kingdom. And Gonzalo, we want to get rid of him because he is a hindrance to our growth. He finds fault with us. He is not in good terms with us. So he will finish him off. These two enough. Others no need to kill them. Why? Because they will take suggestion as a cat laps milk. You just obey. Tell them, do this, they will do it. Just like a cat licks the milk, they will be very obedient to us. No problem. They will tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour. They will tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour. This, they will turn the clock as we wish. That means they will do anything what we want them to do for us. Sebastian, thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. As thou gottest Milan, I will come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the king, shall love thee. So Sebastian rises up to the occasion. Suddenly he musters a lot of courage, and he understands the plot devised by Antonio completely. A pure understanding of the plot. The wicked plan of Antonio is very well understood by Sebastian, and Sebastian says, thy case, dear friend, shall be my precedent. Precedent means an example set. Something that goes before. I will take your example. You are getting rid of your brother Prospero from Milan and how you became the Duke of Milan. I will take that as an example, as a model for me, and I will put into practice in Naples. As thou gottest Milan, I will come by Naples. Just like you got Milan, that you became the Duke of Milan, I will become the King of Naples. Draw thy sword, one stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I the King shall love thee. You remember when Antonio wanted to get Milan for him, he devised a plot with the help of King Alonso through military action. They overthrew Prospero. As a result, or on the condition and the agreement that he will be subservient to Alonso. He will be obedient to Alonso and he will pay tribute to him every year. Certain amount of money will be paid to Alonso as a tribute. So now Sebastian is saying, Antonio, draw your sword and just one cut, finished. Alonso is out and you need not pay tribute to him anymore. And I the king, he is already seeing him as a king, and I the king will be very happy to see that. Excellent. Antonio, draw together, and when I rear my hand, do you the same, like to fall it on Gonzalo. So Antonio says, okay, very good. Now you have understood and you are cooperating very well. Draw together, we shall draw our dragons together, and when I rear means when I raise my sword, do you the like means you do likewise to fall it on Gonzalo. We shall draw the sword together and stab them together. I will stab Alonso, that time you stab Gonzalo. I will strike Alonso, you strike Gonzalo. Sebastian, oh, but one word. They converse apart, re-enter Ariel invisible. So I have one word to tell you. What did they say? We do not know. They converse apart. Meanwhile, re-enter Ariel invisible. Invisible to Sebastian and Antonio. Ariel, my master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else his project dies, to keep them living. Sings in Gonzalo's ear, while you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy. His time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake, awake. So what did Ariel say? My master, through his art, foresees the danger that you, my friend, you, his friend, are in, and sends me forth. So he is saying, not for anybody to hear. He just says that my master, that is Prospero, though through his art foresees, sees beforehand, before it is happening, Prospero, my master, is able to see what is going to happen. What is that? The danger that you, his friend, are in. That means the danger Alonso is in, he is able to foresee by Prospero, and Prospero has sent Ariel to help him out. And sends me forth, for else his project dies. For else. If I do not come at the command of Prospero, Prospero's project will come to an end. What is his project? His project is to transform Alonso, to make Ferdinand to fall in love with Miranda, to make them realize the mistake done by Alonso and company, make them feel sorry for their wrongdoings. That is his project. His project will come to an end if your life, Alonso's life, is not preserved. Therefore, Prospero has sent me. Then he continues, to keep them living. In order to do that, in order to make his project complete, I need to keep you living. I have to keep you alive. Alonso, Gonzalo and others. Sings in Gonzalo's ear. So in order to achieve this, his purpose, his duty is to make Gonzalo aware of the plot. Gonzalo aware of the danger, so that he will wake up the king and safeguard him. So he sings in the ear of Gonzalo. What did he sing? While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware, awake, awake. That's what Ariel said in the ears of Gonzalo. You are very nicely sleeping here, snoring and sleeping. And open-eyed conspiracy is going on. Open-eyed means in the open. Anybody can see. But all are sleeping. But open-eyed conspiracy means outrightly they are planning to kill the king. His life you keep a care. If you care for life, if you like to live, shake off slumber. Slumber is a deep sleep. Shake off slumber and beware, awake, awake. Be cautious, be careful. Become aware of what is happening. Get up, wake up. Antonio, then let us both be sudden. Antonio and Sebastian, they haven't seen Ariel. They haven't seen what is happening. They haven't heard what was said by Ariel in the ears of Gonzalo. You remember they were about to draw together the sword. Then Sebastian says, I have something to tell you. So they went together and they whispered something to each other and they came back. And Antonio said, then let us both be sudden. So they are just getting ready to draw the swords and stab. Gonzalo, waking, now good angels preserve the king. So suddenly Gonzalo gets up and he shouts, good angels preserve the king. To Sebastian and Antonio, why? How now? To Alonso, ho, awake. To Sebastian and Antonio, why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking? So then suddenly Gonzalo gets up and he calls out, asking to save king, to preserve the king. Then he suddenly sees Sebastian and Antonio. Then he asks, why you are like this? Your swords drawn? Then he tells Alonso, oh, hey, awake, get up. And he asks Sebastian and Antonio, why are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking means scared looking, ugly looking, frightened look. Why this frightened look on your faces? Why the sword is drawn? What is happening? Alonso waking up says, what's the matter? What's the matter? Alonso wakes up, King wakes up and asks, what's the matter? What's happening? Sebastian, whilst we stood here securing your repose, even now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather lions. Did not awake you? It struck mine ear most terribly. So these fellows are cooking up a story now. They have been badly caught, so they don't want to expose themselves and their plot. So Sebastian says, while we stood here securing your repose, that is guarding your sleep. You remember when Alonso said that he was feeling sleepy? Antonio and Sebastian said, please go to sleep. When you are in trouble, when you are in sorrow, sleep rarely visits you. And when it comes, it's a blessing. Don't miss it. Please sleep. We will stand here and guard you. So Sebastian is saying, we were guarding your sleep. Even now, just now also we heard a hollow burst bellowing like bulls. A huge sound we heard. Sounded like the bellowing of a bull. The cry made by a bull. No, I think it's not the crying of the bull. It was the roar of a lion. Didn't not wake you up. Didn't you hear the sound? Did it not wake you up? It struck mine ear most terribly. Whatever it may be, whether you heard it or not, it struck my ears very powerfully. Alonso, I heard nothing because he was fast asleep. Antonio, oh, it was a din to fright a monster's ear, to make an earthquake. Sure, it was the roar of a whole herd of lions. So, they are together managing the show. Sebastian said a lie and Antonio is establishing it, giving it a little more color. What did Antonio say? Oh, it was a din to fright a monster's ear. Din is a noise. It was such a huge noise, even a monster will get frightened. Monsters are very courageous beings, huge beings. To frighten them is not so easy. But it was such a huge noise, even the monsters will be frightened. What a noise it was. To make an earthquake. It was so huge, so big a sound, I heard it like an earthquake. Sure, certainly, it was a roar of a whole herd of lions. Sebastian said it was something like the bellowing of a bull. No, it was like the roar of a lion. And Antonio supports him and says, no, it was not the roar of a lion, it was a roar of a herd of lions. H-E-R-D, herd means a group of lions, a pack of lions. So many lions together roaring, huge sound, as if like an earthquake, which was so powerful that it can even frighten a monster. Alonso, heard you this, Gonzalo? So he asked his counselor, did you hear? I heard nothing. Did you hear, Gonzalo? Gonzalo, upon mine honor, sir, I heard a humming, and that a strange one too, which did awake me. I shaked you, sir, and cried, as mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. There was a noise. That is, verily, it is best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place, let us throw our weapons. So Gonzalo is very, very practical and very sincere. He said, "Sir, to tell you frankly, I heard only a humming." You know what is a humming? Humming is a sound made in a low voice. If somebody is speaking, it's a whispering. Here somebody is singing, it's a humming like. So I only heard somebody is humming. Actually, who was humming in the ear of Gonzalo? It was Ariel. He did not realize. So he says, no, what I heard was not a roar, not a din, not a sound that frightens, but a humming. And that is a strange one too. It's not a normal humming, very strange one, which did wake me up. And when I woke up, I shook you. I shook you up. And cried. What did I cry? Preserve the king. Good angels, preserve the king. And there was and cried as mine eyes opened, I saw their weapons drawn. Then I suddenly saw these two people standing there with their weapons drawn. There was a noise, that is verily. Verily means truly. Truly there was a noise, but not so huge as they say. It is best we stand upon our guard, or that we quit this place. Let us throw our weapons. Anyway, let us guard ourselves. We need to be on guard. Otherwise, I am sure something is going to happen. And he gives one more suggestion. It's better that we quit this place. We go away from here. So when Gonzalo suggested to Alonso that let's draw our swords and be on guard, and it's better that we change this place, better to go away somewhere else, Alonso says, lead off this ground and let us make further search for my poor son. Please lead us away from here. I want to keep searching for my son in some other place. Gonzalo, heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure in the island. So, Gonzalo prays that Ferdinand should be protected from these beasts, because he strongly believes that Ferdinand is alive and somewhere in the island. So these beasts can mean the bulls and lions, because they heard the bellowing of bulls and the roar of lions. That's what was reported, falsely reported by Sebastian and Antonio. So it can mean these bulls and lions as beasts, or it could be also possible that Gonzalo, being a clever man, he understood there was something happening. Antonio and Sebastian were trying to do something against the king. So he may be addressing them as the beasts. So whatever it may be, Gonzalo is praying that the son of Alonso, Ferdinand, should be protected from the beasts. Alonso, lead away. Please lead us away from here. Exit with the others. He goes along with others, quits the scene. Ariel. Now Ariel is telling himself, Prospero, my lord, shall know what I have done. Prospero, my master, must have understood I have done my homework. The work assigned to me has been done. So king, go safely on to seek thy son. I have done my work. I have saved your life. Now go ahead searching for your son. That's the end of Act 2, Scene 1. Tomorrow we shall start scene 2 of Act 2. Thank you.